all once. Good evening, everyone. I welcome us all once again to the Parental Midwifery free webinar organized by the Betting Coaching Limited, a registered limited liability company. And at the Betting Coaching Limited, we've organized this webinar to enlighten parents. All right, so just follow me as we proceed. Okay, so I would love to see some of us. I would love to see our comments just for me to know that I'm not alone and I'm not communicating to myself. So I would love our responses in the chat box. I would love to see our comments, our emojis, and how excited we are. So let me see our comments. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. I'm waiting for our comments. I'm waiting for our responses. All right. Okay, so like I mentioned, that the Parental Midwifery webinar. Oh, good evening, Ma. Good to have you here. So the Parental Midwifery free webinar is organized by the Betting Coaching Limited. And let me move further. Okay, so the Betting Coaching Limited, we are a coaching company that helps teenagers and adolescents. Now, let me just put a little bit of context to it. I know that most times when people hear the word adolescent, the thing that comes to mind is they feel like adolescent is little children, all right? But adolescent is the age range 8 years to 24 years. All right, so that's another that's another training on its own, if I'm to dig deep into that, and the why it is age 8 to 24, or some, according to some scientists or some persons that research, they say that they are age 8 to age 10 to age 25. You know, some persons even say age 10 to age 25. So if you are in that age range, or if your child falls into that age range, because we're dealing with parent currently, it means that they are an adolescent. So an adolescent is majorly from age 8 to age 24. All right. So we are a coaching company that helps teenagers and adolescents age 8 to age 24. Now, the major reason why these age brackets, they are called the adolescent, because you see the teenagers inside, the teenagers
now
under, when you say somebody is all right, so the teenagers is the teenagehood is inside the adolescenthood. So the adolescent is the broader age perspective. I don't know why I'm digging that deep into that, but I just need us to understand what we do at the Betting Coaching Limited. And that's why I'm taking my time to explain to us parents and any other, guardian or caregiver that may be on the call. All right. So a coaching company that helps. So now I was trying to say something, that the age range, age to age 24, sometimes age 25, all right, that is the adolescent range. And why? Majorly because the part of their brain, all right, the part of their brain responsible for, thinking, reasoning, is not fully developed until that age 25. All right, so that's why we are having that. I believe we understand what I'm saying now. So that's why we are having that. So, all right. So that's majorly the reason why adolescents, when you hear the word adolescents, is talking about age 8 to 24. So the adolescent brain is not fully developed, or, their brain is not fully developed until age 25. All right. So I'm not addressing teenagers today, but I just need parents to understand that, because that is, and why I'm taking my time is because we're also talking about the parental midwifery, so that from today henceforth, some parents, caregivers, mentors, and all, we begin to give those children or those age range, we begin to cut them some slack, right? So now we are a coaching company that helps teenagers and adolescents discover who they are, that is their identity. Because in this world that we are in, either this part of the world or any other part of the continent, one of the major things that teenagers and adolescents struggle with is identity. They usually will see a high range of identity crisis. All right. So it's not identity crisis now. It's not even literally about the change of, that's where, we are in the time of LGBTQ, transgender and all. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal currently. So we help them to discover who they are and appreciate themselves, discover their God-given purpose, and also discover and bet forth every great potential embedded in them. Because according to Miles Monroe, one of the richest place in the world is the graveyard. And that's because a lot of people, both children, young adults, and adults, they go to the grave. When they die with the potentials, their talent, their gifts, without maximizing these things. I believe we are understanding. So this is what we do at the Betting Coaching Limited. This is what we do. This is what we are all about. All right. So now let's go right into why we are gathered this evening. And this is the Parental Midwifery course. All right. So this is a free webinar. All right. So let's just go. This is just to enlighten parents. So the Parental Midwifery is the intentional nurturing. Let's take note of the word intentional nurturing of what God has placed inside a child. Is the intentional nurturing. A lot of parents are parents, but they are not intentional. All right, they are not intentional. A lot of, not just parents alone, caregivers, teachers, they are not intentional. So there's a high level of intentionality when a parent becomes a midwife, because it's not just about being a parent alone. There is a call to becoming a midwife as a parent in order to be able to maximize everything that child is destined to achieve or to become. All right, so parental midwifery is the intentional nurturing of what God has placed inside a child. All right, also it is helping a child bet purpose and not suppressing it. So what we see in this day and time is that most parents, or some parents, let me just say most, some parents, they have their own, before before the child comes, they already have that, oh, this my child, there's a apologies to non-Christians that may be on the call, but there's a proverb that says that train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. All right. No, now that scripture says, train up a child in the way he should go, not in the way you wanted to go and couldn't go. I usually tell parents that scripture says in the way he should go, not the way you wanted to go as a parent and you couldn't go. So you want to go through them. All right. No, that's not what it's all about. It's about being nurturing them. So helping a child birth purpose, not suppressing it. So we see most times that parents try to suppress their child. They try to suppress them. In what way? Now, not trying to suppress their child. It's not that you are sitting down on your child or stuff. No, you are in the way and manner you do things, in the way and in the level of your consent you give to some certain things. Now, also parental midwifery, the concept of parental midwifery is also guiding your child and not controlling. All right. So, especially in this African part of the world that we are in, some parents are, I usually tell parents, I usually say a lot that this is how I was raised, is never and will never become a parenting strategy. All right. This is how I was raised. This is how my mother raised me and I didn't die. No. It is not a parenting strategy. I want somebody to put that down in the comments, the chat box. This is how I was raised. It's not a parenting strategy. Whether you feel that strategy or that method worked for you, that is you. All right. So this is how I was raised. I usually tell parents that this is how I was raised, and this is how they raised me and I didn't die. It's not a parenting strategy and will never become a parenting strategy. So because for every child, there is a blueprint. For every child, there is something that, God wants to see in that child. And that's the concept of the parenting midwifery course. So this is how I was raised. is not a parenting strategy and will never be a parenting strategy. Oh, when I was young, they used to flog us. They used to, that was then. All right. So that's fine. Let me don't run ahead of myself. All right. So that's I didn't die, this and that. It's not a parenting strategy. This is how we were, this is how I was raised. It's not a parenting, and that is why, like I mentioned, that the parental midwifery is the intentional nurturing, all right, the intentional nurturing of a child. All right, thank you for that, for dropping that in the chat box. Now, the next thing I'm about to say is that the parental midwifery is also partnering with God in the child's destiny. Now, we usually hear this one growing up a lot, that you say parents are caretakers. That is the reality of things. You are caretakers. So partnering with God in a child's destiny. So let me come again. Let me reiterate. Parental midwifery is the intentional nurturing of what God has placed inside the child. You know, this is a broad course on its own. So this free webinar, just to enlighten them, is a very broad course for parents. All right, so parental midwifery is the intentional nurturing of what God has placed inside a child. It's also helping a child birth purpose and not suppressing it. It's also guiding, not controlling. All right, because most times there is a form of, where parents say, oh, now I can do as I like. They may not say it, but there is a way they behave. They say, I gave birth to this child. You cannot tell me what to do. I gave birth to this child. You cannot, that is controlling. You're not guiding. So, and also parental midwifery is what? Partnering with God in a child's destiny. So, and I wrote here that, as you can see, that every child carries greatness, but greatness must be intentionally. See, the word in the parental midwifery concept, or the call, or the duty, is that you cannot remove the key word is always intentional rather, must be intentional as a parent. You must be intentional about your child, raising them. You must be intentional about raising them and nurturing them. All right, so now let's move on to this. Every child here, every child that God has given to you as a parent is pregnant with purpose. And the betting that's why we are called the Betting Coaching Limited. So we help teenagers and adolescents, as I said at the beginning, we help them to bet forth greatness. All right, so every child is pregnant with purpose. No child is empty or useless. No child. I can guarantee you that no child is empty or useless. No child is empty or useless. So even whether you see a child as a parent, you see, or you're a caregiver here, or you're a teacher, and you just see that child in your class or something, and you feel that, why is this child different? That child is different for a reason, but no child is empty or useless. Also, children are born with divine identity, unique abilities, and hidden potentials that must be discovered, that must be maximized, and that must be released to bless their world. All right, so no child is empty, neither is any child useless. So, and these two, the first word here that you can see about no child being empty or useless is a call for parents to be intentional. Parents needs to be very, very, very what? Intentional. Why? In what aspect now? With their words. So no child is empty, no child is useless. Right. So now let's move on. Let's move on. Now, this is the phase where we are going to. The codes, there are codes of parental midwifery. And we have about 7 to 10 codes. But because of this, for the sake of this webinar, I'm going to be sharing with us just 4. All right, there are many codes of parental midwifery, and the following are some of the codes. The code 1 is the code of revelation. All right, so as a parent, as a midwife, as a parent that, wants to be a midwife in nurturing, you must have revelation. What has been revealed to you concerning your child? We live in a world, all right, we live in a time where parenting is taken as as a very simple thing. We live in a world whereby people are not intentional parents. We live in a world whereby we see parents, a child is born today, and you see the parent, and you discover that the parent got you just say, "Ah, why the child's name is so 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 and so 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 thing? Why?" They don't have the why they named their child that. Oh, I just like the name. No reason behind it. Or you even I've seen some parents whereby I've seen parents Google their child's name. That Google, please give me a very fine American name. Let me give my child. I've seen situations, I've seen situations like that where parents just they say, Google, give me a very good name, and the doctor said I'm having a boy, and then they say, give me a very good name, and then they go and ask Google, and then you start hearing Ashley, Ethan, those kind of fine names, right? Asha. And then but there are codes of parental midwifery to be successful as a midwife. There's the parenting, but parental midwifery, a parent that is a midwife, to be very successful. The first code, like I said, that there are about 7 to 10 codes. That according to the Betting Coaching Limited, we have about 7 to 10 codes of the parental midwifery. Yes, exactly. So we have about 7 to 10 codes, but I just want to share a bit with us today, which is 4 of the codes currently. So we have the code of revelation. The code of revelation. So the code, parental midwifery, the code of revelation. You see, you cannot parent successfully without revelation. That's the truth. You cannot. What does revelation mean? That is, you need to have that light need to come upon you to be able to parent successfully. Like I said, that some parents have, it may sound like, but these are things that I've seen. These are things I've seen in my few years of coaching. These are things I have seen. You need to parent with revelation. We have parents that they Google their child's name, and that's, oh, I just ask Google or ask Chat. Now we are even in a world where AI, ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT, please give me something beautiful names for a girl, and then that is their own source of revelation. They're asking ChatGPT, but you need to parent with revelation. What has been revealed to you as a parent concerning your child, that child that you have, that is where the parental midwifery starts from. So that you don't just parent with instinct. You don't just parent with your emotions. You parent intentionally. I remember that I said that from the beginning that this is a call. All right. Parenting is a ministry. Parenting is a ministry and must be seen as that. Parenting is a ministry. Yes, parenting is a ministry. So there are codes of parental midwifery, and one of the codes of parental midwifery is revelation. The code of revelation, you must have revelation. What has been revealed to you about that child? All right, so apologies to non-Christians. There is a story in the Bible that I love so much, and it's the story of Samson. A lot of people, even unbelievers, they know Samson. All right, some of them know Samson. All right, so Samson's parents, there's something they did. These people, they showed us revelation. There was revelation. They had revelation. She was barren, but when the angel came to say, tell me, what do you need me to understand about this child? Okay, the angel told her, don't do this. Okay, you must not, the child must not cut his hair. He's a Nazarite and all like that. Let me don't bore us with this, Bible stories and all like that. No, let me focus. So that's what we are talking about. What has God revealed to you? What have you observed about your child? What has come to you by revelation? So like I said, you need light in parenting, because, and the truth is, there's also a mistake that parents often make. There is an energy that comes when is the first child, but going to the second, third, and other children, they don't spend the same energy. I don't know if anybody has witnessed that here. You don't have a witness. you see that when it's the first child, there's so much focus. But the moment is getting to the second child, the third child, or the fourth child, and all like that, that zeal, that passion, you understand, begins to drop. They say, oh, this child, they're intentional, or their intentionality begins to drop. And this is it. I've heard some parents say their first child is, they use their first child as a, I also heard that growing up that, oh, their first, because they don't know how to parent, so they use their first child as rehearsal, to be able to parent it. So they made a lot of mistake with the first child and all, but the other ones, it ought not to be so. That's why you need revelation, so as not to make some certain mistakes. So that as not to make some certain mistakes. All right, so the code of revelation, I'm spending much time here because this is where we are going to. So the code of revelation, what has been revealed to you concerning your child. Now, not just your child, in case you have every of your child, what has been revealed to you? Do you know what has been revealed to you? What do you know about that child? What do you know? What has been revealed to you about that child? So it is very, very key. And parents must take note of this. Whether intending parents and, you are a single year, but you are into the teaching ask line. You need to take note of this. What has been revealed to you? What have you be revealed to you about that your child or your children? Now, the second code, because we have about 7 to 10 codes of the parental midwifery. The second code is the code of observation. What have you observed? We live in a time where parents are busy. We live in a time where parents are busy. And they say, I was having, I think I had a Facebook Live session last year, and on present versus presence. Present in terms of gifts versus presence. Most times parents try to replace present gift with presence. It can never be the same. And in you spending, because love language, children, teenagers have love language. Yes, they have their love language, how they want love to be communicated to them. So if you have a child, because whether or not your child is, in a certain way, every child deserves quality time. Every child. I did not say quantity time. I said quality time. I did not say quantity time. I said what? Quality time. Every child deserves quality time. Every child. They deserve quality time. Every child deserves quality time. Because it's in quality time you begin to observe. A lot of, there's something called congruent parenting in the coaching space. There's something called congruent parenting. There's a formula or a perspective or a training called congruent parenting. All right. And why is this like this? What's congruent parenting? Congruent parenting is a concept that needs to be understood. Every child now, because when I said quality time now, so parents are thinking about, oh, I need to spend 10 hours a day with my child. No. If you have it, all right, okay, let me dig deep, because like I said, this code of parental midwifery is the reason why we are gathered tonight. Someone is writing ink on my screen. All right, so this is why we're gathered. So now we're on the code of observation. As part of parental midwifery, we are on code of observation. And now, most times, let me now tell us the difference between quantity and quality time. Now, do you know that your child can be with you from morning till, if we have some stay-at-home moms that work remotely here, your child can be with you from morning to evening and you did not spend quality time with that child. That you are just in the same space, but you are not. So quality time is actively engaging your children. Actively engaging them. Not that, oh, you are, for instance, you work remotely as a parent. Your child is with you, you're a father or your mother, your child is with you, and then you now give your child your phone. You're working on your laptop. You're working on your laptop or your system. You now give your child your phone. I said, yeah, that's quality time. I spend quality time. You did not spend quality time. That is not quality time. That is not, I know I may be breaking some tables this night, but that is not quality time. That is not quality time. So you may be spending, your child may be in the same space from Monday till Sundays, and you are still not spending quality time with them. You say, I make time for my children, but you make time for your children, but you are on the same space, but still not actively engaging them. Some parents don't even know what is going on in their child's school. They don't know what is happening to their child in school. They don't know how their child is feeling. They don't even know. Some parents are not aware that their children are started puberty. They are not even aware. And they are living in the same house. They wake up in the same every day. Somebody else is nurturing that child from outside. So the code of observation for parental midwifery, for you to bet for greatness in your child, observation is not for scientists alone. Observation is for every parent. You must be able to observe changes. Just observe by looking at it. Oh, this child piques interest here. Oh, anytime I talk about this, in the child's face is lightened up. Observation. Observation is key. Observation is necessary. Observation is key. Observation is what? Necessary. So, dear parents, if you are here, you already have revelation, but you're not following up with observation. See, revelation must be followed up with what? Observation. Revelation must be followed up with what? Observation. You must follow up with observing that child. Because having revelation is pointless if you are not working towards it intentionally. What have you observed about that child? What have you observed? Even without the child, many things, even without the child speaking to you. I can take, for instance, parents, especially, breastfeeding moms and all like that, nursing mothers, they can easily tell that, they say, a stranger can come and carry your child and say, this child needs also, and the mother or the father, you can easily tell that this is what this child needs. Maybe this child needs to sleep. Maybe this child has, and all like that, based on what you're spending quality time with that child. So also is also, pertaining to what? Observation. You must be able to observe. What have you observed as a parent? What have you observed as a parent? What have you observed? The code of observation is very key and is very, very necessary in the parental midwifery. Another one is the code of curiosity and inquiry. The code of curiosity. You see that your child picks interest in this. Engage them in conversation. Don't wait for them to come and talk. Engage them intentionally in conversation and ask them questions. As a parent, you must ask the question, why, what, who, how. It must always be a question and answer. You must always know that you're sitting them down and doing an interview session. No, but you must be curious. Why is this child picking this in? Because from when you are observing, you begin to have questions in your heart. You begin to inquire. All right. So that is it, because you cannot, these things alone, they are like, they will guide you into nurturing them well. They will guide you into, as I said, revelation must be followed up with what? Observation. Revelation must be followed up with what? Observation. So that is why we as parents, we need to come. So this webinar is to, how will I put the word now? So there is a recalibration going on, an enlightenment going on, a reawakening for parents to know that if in case you are here and you've not engaged the code, because these codes must be complete for you to be able to call yourself a midwife as a parent. The code of revelation, the code of observation. What have you observed about your child? What have you observed without being told? What have you observed about your child? The code of curiosity and inquiry. What have you, curiosity. Ask questions. This thing that you are doing, why do you like it? From there, you begin to gain what? Inspiration. From there, you begin to gain knowledge about your child. Then also, the last one I would like to share with us is the code of wisdom. The book of Proverbs says that by wisdom, a house is built. You can't build that child without wisdom. Anything worth building requires wisdom. Anything that requires building requires wisdom. There's wisdom is profitable to direct. You need wisdom. The code of wisdom must be what? Available, must be there, must be present to call yourself a midwife. We have other codes. We have code of partnership. We have code of support and all like that for parental. So to be able to call yourself parental, a midwife as a parent, because not all parents are midwives. Yes. Not all parents are midwives. Because you're a parent does not make you, does not automatically mean you're a midwife. Not all parents are midwives. All right. So let's move further. Let's move further. Let's move further. Okay. So parents as destiny midwives. So your role as a parent is to observe, not assume. Your role as a parent is to observe, not assume. Guide, not dominate. Train, not frustrate. Support, not compete. Pray, not panic. So your role as a parent, as a destiny midwife, is to observe. Don't assume that, oh, this my child likes this. Don't assume. Observe, ask questions. Engage that child. We live in a world where I think is reducing now compared to the our parents' generation and all, how the parent can confidently say, without revelation now, say that my child must go and study this in the university, for instance, without revelation, not because they just see that, oh, doctors, I just like them, and that's doctors, or I want them to become an accountant or a lawyer and all like that, without revelation. So observe, don't just assume. No. Assumption is the lowest form of communication. So don't just assume, observe. As a parent, you need to what? Observe. Even as a caregiver, you're a teacher and all like that, you need to also observe. You want to be a midwife as a teacher, you need to also observe. You need to observe. You need to guide and not dominate. Don't say this is what, no, you must do this. Now, the only reason why you must mandate that child is, okay, this is the way you should go. Now, it doesn't require you dominating. It doesn't require you dominating, all right? It doesn't require you dominating. Now, because we are in a world whereby the time that we are in, we are not longer in the phase of get inside. No, that's not that phase whereby you tell a child something and say, yes, ma'am, without questioning you. Without questioning you. You are not in that phase currently. We are not in that phase whereby you just tell a child something and then you just, yes, ma. Yes, ma. I have a children ministry. You even aside the coaching space and all, working with children and parents alike, because there's no how you work with children that you not work with their parents in the coaching space and even in the ministry. All right, so you need to guide, not dominate. So we are not in the era of get inside. Any child you give an instruction, they will ask you why. Why is this like? Why do you want me to do it? They will ask you not as a sign of, because most times parents interpret that, especially the African parents, they interpret that as disrespect. When your child is, I had a Facebook live session, last year on normalizing how, why you should normalize your children telling you no. I know that's a hard truth or a hard pill for parents to swallow. Why would my child tell me no? Why would you normalize it? As a parent, you must normalize your children telling you no. When you tell them so that, I know some parents here that are listening to me, or you're listening, and they say, what do you mean? Yes, you must normalize your children telling you no. Because why are we having children that are being deceived outside? It's because they have been trained by their parents to always say yes to everything. They don't have will of their own. When you normalize your children saying no as a parent, it will help in their decision making. They can tell you no. From there, you begin to see that, oh, I think my child knows right from wrong. Normalize your children telling you no. That's gone are the days whereby our parents will tell us something. I will say, yes, ma, no form of, because then there was no form of relationship. When our fathers are coming back from work, then some persons you are running inside the house, you don't want your father to see you. There's no form of intimacy, no form of relationship that you can easily go and hug your dad, no form of relationship. But those times has gone. That's why I said that I said from the beginning that this is how I was raised, is not a parenting approach. It's not a parenting strategy. This is how I was raised and I did not die. It's not a parenting approach. If you are still living in that era, this is how I was raised and I did not die, you are on your own. We have left that WhatsApp group. We have left that WhatsApp group since, because we're in we're in the 21st century. Things have changed. We're not in the 1990s or in the 1980s something. We have left that WhatsApp group. So parents you need to normalize it. You're a caregiver here and your students in your class tell you no. Don't want to, parents just say, why are you telling me no? You beat. I have a colleague of mine that the child, she told the child that she just to go and do something. And the mommy said, and the child said, no, mommy, I can't do it. I can you help? Can I please do it later? So the child said, mommy, can I? Because she now observed that actually this girl, since the girl came back from school, the girl has been working. She washed plate, she do this, she did that. And then she was already tired. Children they have emotions. They are not slaves. All right? They have emotions. They also have emotions. And the interesting thing, I was talking to us about adolescents. I told us from the beginning of the webinar that adolescence is from age 8 to age 24 years. Why? Because their prefrontal cortex, the part of their brain responsible for thinking, is not fully developed. But you see that their emotional part, their amygdala, is fully developed. So most times children will want to relate with you from their emotions. So you must, as a parent, you must not tell your child. It's not all the time that your child will say something and you say, and your child says no, you want to kill them. Ask them, observe. That's why parental midwifery. Observe. Don't just assume. Because when your children is used to telling you no, not as a sign of disrespect. That's why as a parent, you must learn. You must unlearn, learn, and relearn at every point in time. And that's why I appreciate every parent here that came out to learn for free. So people say they want to do paid course. They want to do, that's why they first learn the free one first. Because information keeps coming that you must not be in the, in the 1990s, in the 1900. And then we have left that WhatsApp group and you are still operating from there because you refuse to grow as a parent, or you refuse to evolve or to learn as a parent. So normalize, I said I had normalize your children saying no, because one, it's all the decision making. If one, because we live in an evil world. They see a brother outside or an uncle that wants to do anything to them or harm them, either male or female, or they see an aunties that want to, they can easily tell the person no, and they can be opened. And that's why as coaches, we encourage parents. We encourage parents to have relationship with their children. I will say it again. This is how I was raised. Is not a parenting strategy, neither is it a parenting approach. It will never be. You not having a relationship with your child, that your child cannot freely walk up to you and voice out their emotions, voice out their feelings. Like I said, their amygdala is fully developed. So they will always separate from that. They cannot express how they feel to you as a parent. When you are in the same house, we live in a world where parents, like I was saying it the other time, that you may be in the same space. You say quality over quantity. You may have gone from, especially maybe you live in Lagos State, for instance, in the part of Nigeria that we are, in Lagos State. You go early, leave for work early in the morning. You come back late at night. At least from this webinar, and start telling yourself that if I don't spend, at least I will intentionally engage my child or my children for at least 30 minutes a day. Let that be part of your to-do list for the day. That when you come back from work, either you come before them, or they came, or you met them at home, or they met you at home, any of them, and intentionally engage your children. Ask them what happened. I used to give parent tips a lot. Ask them what happened during break. Don't just say I was going to say fine and just say yes. I've asked them. They say fine, it's fine. Ask them what happened during break. Be strategic about your questions. Don't just say, hey, they say the school was fine. They say this thing. Especially when it comes to, that's why I say as parents, you must be able to observe. You must have revelation of your children. What have you observed? Child A will be definitely different from child B. They will not have the same personality type. Child A may be a dependable truck. Oh, sorry. They may be a sanguine, or they may be a choleric, they may be a melancholic. You must be able to operate with them, according to their individual, talents and potentials. One of your child is very outspoken. So even whether you ask that one or not, either the girl or the boy will open up to you about his or her day. But you also have another child, that if you don't engage that one will not see anything. You must be able to. That's why you need to be intentional. Don't say, it means that person is fine. No. Observe, not guide, train, not frustrate, support, not compete, pray, not panic. Because we live this time that we are in. This time that we are in requires, you cannot, you're a parent and you are not praying. So we need to be what? Strategic. We need to be what? Strategic. We need to be intentional. As parents, we need to be very, very what? We need to what? Be very intentional. Somebody is muted. Can we please unmute? Can we please mute? Sorry. All right. Thank you. So you need to be what? Intentional. You need to be intentional. Your child come back from school. Don't just say you are welcome. Ask them. When they go freshen up, they've eaten. Sit down with them. Sit down with them. Some parents have never done as their child's assignment with them before. They've never done that. That's an avenue for you to engage that child. They've never. Some parents will say, oh, we are in the same space. Like I said, you can be in the same space with that child and you say you are spending. I always say quality over quantity. Quality over quantity. Quality over quantity. This is a time that they must prioritize family time. Father, mother, whether the father is another country or is in another state, you must have a time of the week whereby you come together as a family and you intentionally engage those children. Not there, because children they don't always like when every time is just a question and answer session. No, engage them, let them add their opinions. Let them add their opinions. This is a time. From there, you begin to discover that there's somebody in their school that is doing one thing or the other. You begin to observe. You begin to observe. From there, things will begin to see. In the place of spending time with your children, you begin to notice things. Some parents don't even know that the academic performance of their child has dropped. They're not aware. I was saying before that some parents don't even know that their child has started puberty. They are not aware. Wet dream, no enlightenment. So, and parental midwife, you must be prepared. You must be proactive. There's the code of proactiveness as a midwife. Like I said, I just shared 4 codes with you. There's a lot of code of proactive. You must be proactive. That before your child gets to it, your child is age 8 currently. Before the child becomes, a teenager, you're already telling the child about, love, conversation around sex. You're already having that conversation with them. Yes. Some people say, I'm saying that some persons are looking at me and like, yes, ask conversation. If you don't teach them, somebody will teach them from outside and will give them the wrong training. Tell your open now. This is February. This February now is Valentine's season. Your children will be here, especially those in secondary school, primary school, they'll be here for Valentine. Enlighten them about the right way to love. Enlighten them about God's love, about agape. Enlighten them that they will be, as time goes on, they will start having crush. See, there's the code of proactiveness. So that because if you are not proactive as a midwife, you're a parent and as a midwife now, you're not proactive. That there are some things that can happen that may abort that destiny. And you don't want that. You don't want that. So you must be, there's also there's a lot of codes I just shared four with us. I know I've mentioned some. I mentioned partnership, code of partnership. I mentioned code of support, code of proactiveness. There's a lot of code. I just shared four with us. Because like I said, this is a paid course. I'm just doing this for free. This is a paid course. It's a broad course. So you must be proactive, that before your child gets to a particular stage, you have gone ahead. That's the meaning. You have gone ahead of that child. Before your child becomes a teenager, you have gone ahead. So maybe the child is in 11 years or 12 years old, preteen. You have already started. And don't say and they will teach them in school. No. Don't wait for them. No. They say, why are we paying the teachers? Why are we paying the school? They must teach them. No. And why are we going to church? Why are they being in the children's church? They must teach them. No. Why are they going to the mosques? No. There's a part of a parent, as I said, that not all parents are midwives. Not all parents are intentional nurturers. You must be proactive. You must go ahead of your child into their future and secure it. I have there's a certain man, is a pastor. He was sharing one time like that. And he said, when their daughter, the daughter was around age 8 years. And the daughter was around age 8. So they told them that so they were like, let them enlighten this child now. About puberty and all like that, menstruation, having crush. Let them enlighten this child. No, but they're like, no, the child is too small. The child cannot understand. Let them wait till she's 10 years old. Lo and behold, they got to the child was now age 10. 2 years later, right? The child became age 10. Oh, they now sat her down. They now started saying this and this and this and this and this. The child was looking at them like this. The child was looking at them like this. And when they went on this, the girl said, I know all this that you're telling me, I am aware. I know already. And they were shocked. They said, how do you know? They said, my friend in school, her mother taught her. Proactive. Are you seeing? Parents you must be intentional nurturers. Their mother taught us. That's as a parent, you're a midwife as a parent. Like I said, not all parents are midwives. All right. So you must be proactive. Go ahead. That's the code of proactiveness. Go ahead of that child before that child gets to that age. Teach the child. This is a season of Valentine. Don't say the Valentine is worldly. It's not worldly. Go into the word. This is worldly concepts. It's not, no. Sit them down and teach them, because you are not always with them 24/7. They will go to school, they will hear these things. They will hear about boyfriend, they will hear about girlfriend. Teach them, sit them down and begin to teach them. Now, not only the girl child, sit down your boy, enlighten him. Enlighten him, because now we live in a world whereby over the years, the boy child has been neglected. A lot. We hear cases daily that in fact, your heart will just bleed as a coach. You are hearing things daily. The boy child is so neglected. They are teaching the girl child how to be a good wife. You say, don't go and do like this in your husband's house. They're already telling them, do this, do this. Nobody's educating the boy child. And it starts from the home. It starts from the home. Nobody can do it better than you. And that's why I said that not all parents are midwives. And that's why we're having such a training today. You need to be proactive. As you're enlightening your child, let the father sit the boy down and begin to enlighten him. Also, if the father is not available, let the mother do it. But somebody must be talking to both the boy and the girl, not just the girl alone. Is this how you do in your husband's house? Is this how you... No, the boy too needs attention. The boy needs attention. So let's move faster now because of our time. Wow. All right. Just planned. I said this was going to be 1 hour. So let's move faster. I believe that, we are getting enlightened, dear parents. All right. So now I chipped that in and I said that this is a season. This is a call for parents in this season to be intentional. This is Valentine. Valentine is on Saturday. Dear parents, schedule a meeting with your children from now to Saturday. Ensure that you sit them down and enlighten them. Sit them down and enlighten them. They say Valentine. Okay, yes. If you don't know it, ChatGPT has made the word, Google and ChatGPT Google is your friend. If you don't see, Google is your friend, ChatGPT is your friend. Google is your friend, ChatGPT is your friend. All right. Google is your friend. Just what's the name now? What's the name right now? Google the history of ask ChatGPT. Google the history of Valentine. How did Valentine start? And begin to enlighten them. You don't make your research and see them now. Say, okay, this is how we started. This is. But now I know we are in a world whereby so and so thing is being done. But this is the right way to love. This is the God kind of love. This is tell them about the different kind of the philos, the eros. Just be a proactive parent. The code of proactiveness. I didn't write that down. I didn't write that there because I just wanted to share with us. I shared with us codes of parental midwifery, the code of revelation, the code of observation, the code of curiosity and inquiry, the code of wisdom, the code of proactiveness, the code of partnership, the code of support. There's a lot of codes to ensure that we are effective as a midwife or as a parent, a parent that is a midwife. So let's go to practical steps. We're wrapping up already. Practical steps to nurture greatness. What are the practical steps to nurture your child's greatness? Number one, observe intentionally. I've been saying this already. Observe intentionally. Be there to observe. Now, in the coaching space, especially because of the formation of their brain, we advise parents not to give a child a phone until age 16 or 18 years. Yes, we advise. But another parent, we are living in a world there right now. I've seen a parent online. This hazard is hazard, just hazard. We've seen parents, come out boldly to say, oh, my child has iPhone 7, iPhone 17, the latest iPhone 17. I saw one last year, a video of a mother that gifted the child iPhone, is it iPhone 17 now? I'll be iPhone, what? I don't even know. And gifted that child the latest iPhone, a 7-year-old. You have successfully, let me just use the word, destroy that child in advance. Because there are some things and that is why you are wondering now why those children now grow up to have short attention span. You handed it over to them, you are the cause of it. You are now wondering why because your child has a phone, you are wondering why you will call them before you will call them 10 times before they answer you. You are the one that handed it over to them. You handed the problem over to them. So these things, it doesn't help. Parents don't like to hear this. They say, we live in a tech world. Yes, they can have a laptop, right? They can have a laptop where you want them to learn a skill and all. It's fine. But intentionally handing them a phone and saying they should be using it. If you want to give them a phone, okay, maybe you're not always around, you want to give them small phone. Give them small phone. Or if you're going to be giving them a big phone, an Android phone because of you want them to enroll in this thing. Google has made it easy that there's this parental guide. There's a way you can guide them intentionally and you can monitor what they are doing. You can monitor what they are doing. That is it. If you want to give them, that it must be strict. All right, maybe under strict circumstances, because now we are in also a world, in as much as parents are giving phones and all like that, we're also in a world whereby parents are equipping their children early. That's also part of the course. Equipping their children early, not waiting until they get old. All right, intentionally nurturing them, enrolling them for courses here and there. If you can get them a laptop, let it be a family laptop. So when they just let it be, give them a small phone. You are wondering why that child has that. You call them. My name is Coach Deborah, right? So Deborah. You're wondering why that child is not answering you. You are the one that gave them the weapon fashion they gave them. You successfully handed it over to them. So do not complain. It's the fruit of the labor. It's the fruit of the labor of your work, as my colleague will usually say. That's the fruit of the labor. So we need to be intentional. Parenting, practical steps now. Observe intentionally, encourage curiosity and what creativity. Now, every child can never be the same. No, Taye will definitely be different from Kehinde. It will be different from Alaba. Taye will be different. There's no how. They will be different. So let's understand that. So expose them to learning opportunities. How do you nurture that? This is what I said now. Expose them to learning opportunities. According, you see that your child has interest for this. Don't say, I don't have money. This is a time. I usually tell parents that knowledge is expensive. Ignorance is expensive. So choose your expensive. Choose the one that you want. They'll say parents now, they will see cost. This cost is knowledge. I will say it again. Knowledge is very expensive. Oh. I won't even lie. Knowledge is expensive. I have a paid course, the Betty coaching program course for teenagers and adolescents from age 8 to 19. A 9 months program coming up for 50,000 naira. I'm going to still tell us about it. But no, I'm telling us now that knowledge is expensive. Also, ignorance is very expensive. It's very, very expensive. But parents, you have to choose the expensive that you want. You have to choose. This is a time that you have to expose them to learning opportunities. Oh, building their self-esteem, discovering their purpose. This, because when they discover this is work made easy for you in disguise. Knowledge is expensive. Ignorance too. I usually say something to myself. I tell myself that, Deborah, what you don't know is bigger than you. What you don't know, what you've not discovered, what is bigger than you. I usually tell myself, I used to sit down, I used to have coaching sessions with myself. I tell myself that what you don't know is bigger than you. Knowledge is expensive, so you must be willing to invest. You must be willing to invest in your child. Also, how can you, steps to nurture their greatness? Create a safe environment. I don't know, this has been coming to mind to state. Not all family members is worth leaving your child for or leaving your child with. Don't leave your child. It's not all family members is worth leaving your child with. I say, oh, I trust that my brother. I trust that my uncle. I trust. That's why I said you must observe as a parent. Your child may be trying to communicate something that one brother in one place, one teacher in their school is trying to do something to them, and you're not observing. Not all. You must create a safe environment for your child. I told myself that if I get married, one of the key things I will look at is I will not just rent house I will not just rent house or buy land any place and build. You understand? I will not just build my house in any place and say, I will be very strategic in the environment. That is there a barbing salon? Is there a club? Is there an hotel opposite? And all like that. I will be very strategic. That's parental midwifery. You must be very strategic with the kind of environment, the kind of school that you enroll your child in. Visit the principal, have a conversation with the principal, know the kind of perspective the principal has. The owner of the school, visit them, the teacher, go to your child's school one day. Don't wait till the open day. Don't wait. Some parents will never go for open day. Now, responsibly speaking, some parents may literally be very busy, but always create time. Always create time that if the daddy did not go, let mommy go. If mommy did not go, let daddy go. One person must be available to attend. Your child is doing something, your child told you, daddy, we have a competition in school, and you are not there. If you cannot go, let one person represent. Be actively involved in oh my goodness, be actively involved in the life of your child. Never be too busy. Like I said, that it's not always quantity, it's always quality over quantity. That even if it's in a week, maybe the only time they get to see daddy at home, the only time they get to see mommy at home is in the weekend. Let that weekend count. Because as these children are growing up, they're having a perspective. They're having a perspective about they're having a perspective about who you are. They're having a perspective about who you are. So you must be intentional as a parent. All right, let's move faster, right? Let's move faster. Let's move faster. Okay. So create a safe, then pray intentionally over their future. This also being proactive. Pray intentionally about their future. All right. So also, now these are questions. This is the last place. Questions for self-reflection. As a parent, these are things you need to reflect on as a parent. Questions for what? Self-reflection. So, do I truly know my child? You must ask yourself as a parent, do you truly know your child? What area of their interest have you ignored? They'll be telling, mommy, I want to do this. Mommy, please enroll me, please. You need to what? Be intentional about that. Now, you need to also check again and reflect. Am I nurturing or am I controlling? You also need to say, am I partnering with God or relying on methods? So, like I said, this is how I was raised. It's not a parenting approach. Am I intentionally partnering with God or I'm just relying on methods? And lastly, what words do I speak daily over my child? As a parent that is a midwife, you must be careful of your words because words shapes and also words destroys. So you must be careful. If you're a parent here and you are, you always say you are these negative words over that child or, or your children. This is a call to reflection and being, and stepping into that office of what parental midwifery. All right, so let me take our questions. Thank you for joining the parental midwifery free webinar. Thank you for joining. So let me take our questions. Let me take our questions. Any question? Any questions? So, all right, I mentioned this course. All right, so this is the betting coaching program. Like I said, a 9 months, 36 weeks transformative course for ages 8 to 19 years. And the fee is 50,000 naira. All right, the fee is 50,000 naira. So also, the course outline. Now, let me explain this to us. We have because it's the Betty coaching program and it's a 9 months course. I'm their lead mid. So my name is Coach Deborah Adeye. I'm the lead midwife and coach, and also the founder of the Betty Coaching Limited. So I'm the lead midwife of this course. So it's a 9 months course, and they are going to be having 3 trimesters. I know when we have trimesters, we talk about pregnancy. Yes, because every child is pregnant with purpose, like we just learned now. So it's 3 trimesters. Trimester 1, they have different topics I'll be looking at. Trimester 2, different topics. Trimester 3, third trimester, different topics. All right, that is for age 8 to age 19 years. So understanding course outline is this is just a brief course outline. Identity, purpose, discovery, understanding their personality, self-esteem, and building confidence, growing up spiritually, talent, discovery, and maximizing their potential. We also have Light Bearers course and Impact Makers course. We also have the Dream Killers course. So this is like a compressed way. This is actually cheap. Yes, because this 50,000 naira for that 9 months is less than 200 naira per day as a parent. So if you want to enroll your child, it is so when it started 1st of March 2026 down to 30th of November 2026. All right, and this is the program. So now for those that join this free webinar, there's a discount. There's a discount that I have for us. So for anybody that's going to be paying in the next 72 hours. So also let me mention that if you are, the normal course fee is 50,000 naira, but if you are to enroll 2 children, they are going to be paying the sum of 80,000 naira. And if you are enrolling 3 children, maybe you have 3, because yes, what some parents want to do is that they don't know that it's each child is per head. They will say, okay, let's one enroll and come and be teaching the other sibling. No, the elder sibling cannot teach the younger sibling how to discover purpose. Everybody must have an encounter with the midwife. All right. So every child, so if you have the one child is 50,000 naira. Let me just explain the normal cost fee rather. One child is 50,000 naira. 2 children, you want to enroll them is 80,000 naira, and 3 children is 110,000 naira. So 110,000 naira for that. So, but if you are going to be paying full payment from now till Friday, 11:59 p.m., there's a discount for you. There's a discount. There's a 20% discount for you. So instead of you to pay 50,000 naira, you'll be paying 40,000 naira. If you have to make full payment from now till Friday, instead of it, that is, if you have one child, you have to pay 40,000 naira. If you have 2 children, you have to pay 70,000 naira. And if you have 3 children, you have to pay 100,000 naira. So I believe that I tried my best, because this course, the normal fee for this course, I just put this course as 50,000 naira, but the normal fee is about 100,000 naira per child. But I just had to do this based on instruction. I was instructed to put this price like that. I've been struggling with it, but I had to just leave this price as instructed. All right. So this is me saying thank you for joining. Thank you for joining the parental midwifery course. I believe you have been blessed. And I just want one or two persons to just share with us in the comments, the chat box, what you learned, your take home, what's your take home. So you can start reaching out to us. I'm going to be sharing the admins for the coaching community. They will be sharing my own personal social media handles, and also they'll be sharing both the Betting Coaching Program, the Betting Coaching Limited social media handle, so that you can follow us and get updated when we have other coming programs and webinars and all like that. Thank you. So any question so that we can wrap up in 1 or 2 minutes. So like I said, if you're going to be paying from now to Friday, you have a discount. You have a discount. From now to Friday, you have a discount. And the discount is one child will pay 40,000 naira, 20% discount, 40,000 naira. 2 children, they'll be paying 70,000 naira, and 3 children, 110,000 naira. But for the normal fee is 50,000 naira per child if you are not able to meet up, but you still want to enroll your child. And also there is paying in installments. Instrumental payment is available. Yes, if you enroll your child, all right, there's instrumental payment. Instrumental payment is available 2 to 3 times, actually depending on the number of children that you have. So if you have 3 children, you enroll 3 children, you are entitled to at least 3 times instrumental payment. So you can pay 30 at first, then maybe after the first trimester, you pay the second one, and all like that, just to make it flexible and open to every parent. And even if you are not a parent here, you can do well to also help in publicizing the program if you are blessed from the webinar tonight. Thank you. And I want us to ask, I don't know if anybody has any question. And also, lest I forget, you are an elder one, you have a younger one, you can enroll your younger siblings also for the program. All right. And also, because in the program we have three sessions. We have 3 free sessions for parents. After every trimester, there's a free session for parents, and it is a free check-in session with parents. The first trimester, having a session with parents. After the first trimester, after the second trimester, and the last trimester, we're going to be having sessions, 3 free sessions with parents, not to also talk about free access to the lead midwife and coach. So, yes, I don't know if anybody has any question. So if you are making payments for the betting coaching program for your child age 8 to age 19 from now till Friday, you are giving a discount, 20% discount, 40,000 naira. And if you have 2 children from now till Friday, you are paying at once 70,000 naira, and you have 3 children at once 100,000 naira. So you see how cheap that is. So that's the discount I have for us. But if you cannot meet up with Friday and you still want to enroll your child, you have going to pay 1 child 50,000 naira, 2 children 80,000, 3 children 110,000 naira. That is, you see, and even if it's 4 children, you pay 100,000 naira for 4 children. Isn't that so cheap? Because like I said, some parents here are like, hey, this money you can pay 2 to 3 times. You are entitled to 2 to 3 times paying in installments. And like I said, that 50,000 naira for 9 months in this year is less than 200 naira per day. And that's 200. If you give your child, some parents now, they cannot give their children 200 naira in a day as snacks money. The child will look at them like, mommy, why? So it's more than their snacks money per day. All right. So do well to invest in the life of your children, and God bless you. So thank you for joining. I believe you're blessed. All right. I can see our comments. Thank you for joining. Do well to have a wonderful evening. Bye for now. See you again.